Welcome back to the Westmoreland Sports Network for our Recruiting Thursday feature, brought to you by our friends at Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Jack Ridenour here with you, and today we are joined by Norwin baseball player and recent Pitt baseball commit, Caden Sivrich. Caden, first off, my friend, thanks so much for joining us today. Obviously, a big congratulations, too, on the commitment. How does it feel to have this decided and settled, and you can enjoy this final year of high school?
Yeah, I mean, it feels absolutely amazing. I can finally, enjoy my senior year and not have to worry about every game, texting coaches, sending out video. It's a big, thing off their shoulders, being able to, get to work my senior year and really, make a run back at that championship.
Well, we'll definitely talk about this past year's run to the championship in a little bit, but I want to get into this decision to go to Pitt because obviously playing some high major baseball, ACC baseball, what led you to wanting to continue your career there?
Just growing up a Pitt fan, it's just kind of a place that I feel really comfortable at. I love all the coaching staff there. Coach Bell does a really good job. I love everything they have to offer. The school, and just my mom works there, and I really love how I've been able to be on that campus for so long and be so comfortable with everything there. I just really love it. It's so amazing.
Now, I'm assuming that you'll be mostly pitching when you go there. Are you planning on hitting at all? Has that been a conversation at all?
Yeah, no, just going as a pitcher.
So does that feel a little weird going into this senior year, knowing that this is going to be probably the last time you swing a bat in a live game?
Yeah, definitely. But, I'm just going to try and give it my all, even though I'm not entirely a hitter, I'm more of a pitcher now, but, just try and give it my all with that.
Well, what do you plan on majoring in when you go to Pitt?
I'm thinking to do something in business or maybe finance. I think that's what I'm most interested in, and hopefully, maybe pursuing after college.
No, both great degrees, great careers to pursue without question. Curious to hear how this whole recruiting process was like for you. I know that baseball recruiting can get pretty in-depth. I know you mentioned a little bit at the top of the show as well. When did things kind of really start to pick up for you in terms of college attention?
Sophomore year, like beginning of the spring for the baseball season. But obviously for that, they changed the rules. You couldn't talk to colleges until August 1st of your junior year. So that's when colleges really started paying attention to me. And then really the most it was my past year, beginning of junior year, the spring season. And then throughout the summer, it's been pretty good. But then once Pitt came along in April, they really just, blew my doors off, and I really liked everything they had to offer, so I kind of went with them.
What were some other schools that were in the mix with Pitt?
I had UMBC was my one other offer, and Georgia State was my other offer, and I was also being recruited by George Mason, James Madison, Winthrop, Campbell, a few other schools I can't really remember, but those are some the main ones.
Well, good thing you got that all knocked out of the way. And again, you don't have to worry about that heading into this year. But curious also to hear, with you getting ready to be pitching at that next level, what have you been focusing on in the pitching repertoire? Are you looking to add anything this offseason or trying to add some velo to the fastball maybe?
Yeah, I mean, obviously velo is obviously a thing you always want to add, but I've really been trying to perfect my my changeup. It's really a thing that really will help me a lot because it plays off my fastball really well when it's on. And obviously, I want to perfect my slide as much as possible, but the changeup is really what I'm looking to perfect as much as possible. I would like to add a curveball as well, but that's kind of a work in progress. It might take a little while for me to figure that out, but just kind of working on the changeup is really what is main for me right now.
Are you the type of pitcher that maybe goes by the rule less is more, and you'd rather focus on 3 pitches and master them, or are you somebody that wouldn't mind expanding to maybe 4 or 5, even 6 in the repertoire?
I think 3 is good, at least for me, just because I just feel 3 pitches is enough for me to be able to, get guys out and really throw well. But, having a 4th or a 5th pitch is always good. It's kind of harder to focus on all 5 pitches instead of having, 3 that are really good. I feel like it's better to have more than less pitches than this to have 5 or 6 pitches.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree, and I'm sure it's a little less wear and tear on the arm. throughout the season. But I know that for you, it'll be interesting going to Pitt because a former Norwin Knight will be on the pitching staff as well. Noah Chakowski, I know he graduated a couple years ago, but how much of an influence did he have, if at all, on your decision? And, how excited are you to see somebody from your neck of the woods on the same roster?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have as much influence as me committing there, but I've always like kind of looked up to him. Watching him back in like 8th and 7th grade, and in the high school, it's seeing him progress throughout his college career. It's nice knowing that there's someone going to be there that's from around where I grew up. So it's nice to know that.
Well, I want to get into this past season because I know you mentioned the run to the championship, and it was a very memorable year for you and the Knights. You guys ultimately finished as runner-ups to Seneca Valley, but what made last year's team so special in igniting that run and getting that title game? I know in particular, I think it was the quarterfinals game against Butler. That seemed to really kind of springboard you guys further in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that team, we've been playing together since we were real young. And I think that we were such a, tightly knit group that we just had each other's backs all the time. We had really good practices every week, and we just kind of stuck with it the entire year. And I think that's really what ultimately let us get that far in the season. I know we could have won that game. It just wasn't our day that day.
Well, I'm sure you guys feel a boatload more confident coming into this season, and I'm sure that the confidence is at an all-time high. Talking with the guys, I mean, what is kind of the feeling around the team and around the your fellow Knights going into this season, saying, "Hey, we got really close. Let's see what we can do this upcoming year."
Yeah, I think this year we're probably the most confident we've ever been in getting back to that championship and actually winning, just because this is our last year and we want to give it our best shot. And I think that we have a really good chance of making it there and actually pulling it off this year.
Well, certainly will be exciting to see you and Norwin back out on the diamond. But, Cade, before we let you run in again, thank you so much for spending a little time with us today. But the final question I have for you as you kind of have your time wind down at Norwin, you get ready to embark on your next journey at Pitt, what are you most looking forward to in this final year of high school? And, maybe it doesn't need to be baseball. It could be something non-baseball related. But just what are you excited for in this senior year?
Just making memories with my friends. It's kind of the most important thing in your senior year. I just made the golf team this year, so I'm super excited to play with them, and really, just spending my last year with my friends. So,
well, my friend, again, thank you so much for spending some time today. Congratulations on this commitment, and enjoy this senior year. It's going to be a blast.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
That's Pitt baseball commit Caden Sivrich. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Recruiting Thursday, brought to you by our friends at Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Make sure you check out our other Recruiting Thursday features that are available on our YouTube channel. And as always, this is Jack Ridenour signing off, never saying goodbye, just I'll see you later, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.